Thank you for joining me from America. Our hearts are broken. Broken hearts cry. Broken hearts leave a vacuum. Tragically, the vacuum creates violence, confusion, and chaos. But let us not remember while we sit in our homes in fear or we watch the news in fear. Let us not remember why we are gathering, why the peaceful protesters have come together. Let us not have our attention diverged into the darkness of chaos, which always comes to steal the light of unity. For we have an opportunity here to continue creating unity, coming together worldwide to uphold the voices of those who no longer can speak, to stand for justice for those that did not receive justice, to live with a conviction to love, even when it seems impossible. Peaceful protests are a way of standing up and saying, we will not back down, we will not sleep when we see a brother or a sister executed in a barbaric fashion. This is the year 2020. Have we not evolved with all of our technology, our scientific discoveries, SpaceX taking off to fly into the universe just this week? Have we not learned anything that we are still living in the dark ages, thousands of years ago? Where is justice and where is democracy? Each of us has an opportunity to reflect on what democracy is and ask the question, do we want it? Is it really that important? It is that important because democracy was built on a great spiritual foundation in the traditions going back 5,000 years of justice, of caring for the underprivileged, of telling the truth, of forgiveness. And this is what democracy was meant to uphold. Imperfect, because we are imperfect, but this is why democracy must continue. Because when we look at history, and we were simply the victim of kings and queens that we had no power over, it was much worse. We now have an ability at least to vote, at least to become involved, and to make a change. So let us bring our attention back to the why. Let us not forget the light. The lights that are now bringing us together. Buddha said the darkness serves the light if we are conscious. The darkness is simply darkness if we are unconscious. Let us become conscious and take the darkness of our time and use it to transform our minds and our thoughts and to execute right action to create a better world. And let us remember that we are together, that we are coming together because we find it intolerable at the loss of life from racism. Our hearts and our prayers are with the family and the community of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. We will always remember Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, Emmett Till, and the countless others who are nameless, but also were put into an unknown grave of racism. Many of us, like myself, we could not imagine the terror that you experienced in your death. Nothing will erase that. But through our efforts and our hard work, our prayers, our perseverance towards love, tolerance, and justice, your last breath, I cannot breathe, your last breath, we promise, we make a vow that it will not have been a needless breath, but it will be a breath of life, breathing life into us, that we will not stop, we will not back down, we will not forget that we must return equality to all. We cannot fall back asleep, not now. There were times perhaps we could have after the civil rights movement and life seemed to be going in a good direction. But we can't now. We cannot go back to sleep. It is urgent. We must commit to a movement of enlightenment. Well, what is enlightenment? It's not a transcendental thought that has no meaning or grounding in reality. Enlightenment means knowledge. Enlightenment means clarity. It means being able to see the truth. Enlightenment means wisdom. It means being the best part of ourselves. We have this in each and every one of us. No movement can truly have a lasting impact of good unless the leaders of this movement and the followers of this movement and the community of this movement understands enlightenment. I grew up in the South. Durham, North Carolina in the early 60s, and then Memphis, Tennessee, where Martin Luther King marched, cried out, "I am a man." I marched with my parents. I was only a child, but I knew personally the evil face of racism. I knew what it looked like, what it felt like. I saw with my own eyes my dear friends beaten and hurt. I myself was beaten after school one afternoon. I had a chair broken over my back. I know what racism looks like and feels like. And so with each of these unnecessary executions, I'm propelled back into my childhood and to the pain I felt in the center of my bones. But I am saying, from one brother to another, one sister to another, and I am sitting here, clearly a white person, that together, all of us, all nationalities, worldwide, it is time now to truly embody the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. It is truly time to step up and create the movement, the dream that he cast as a prophecy. Perhaps he saw this coming. Perhaps he knew what was to arrive 40 years later. And so now we must remember. And in our cornerstone of remembering, I want to share with you that within each and every one of us, there is a temple of light, a place of love and understanding. Let us be vigilant in finding this in each other and upholding the truth that we are fighting for. And so I invite you to join me for a prayer. This is a prayer that I actually wrote years ago for 9/11. And it was read ironically by the head of police for the city of Hollywood after 9/11, and the head of the firefighters, the city council, and the mayor. And so I've taken this piece from this long poem, and this portion is called Prayer to Heal America. And I would like to invite you to close your eyes and take a moment and let us bring our hearts and minds together in prayer to heal our country. Holy One, hear our prayer. Teach us how to see, soul to soul, divinity to divinity. Teach us how to have tolerance, respect, and care for every individual. Help us to have faith beyond faith. Help us to regain our noble light. Heal our country. Transform our hearts. Pour your grace into our wounds. Reveal the hidden light in us that has lost its way. Retrieve this light. Bring us salvation. Our loneliness shadows our ability to think and to love. Help us to heal those places within us. Help us to soothe the voice and the feeling of intolerance and shame. We are ready to receive your gift of grace. Give us the strength to reach up as we push our palms through the darkest soil of ignorance. Send our prayers to all the soldiers of freedom. These are our friends, families, communities, loved ones, and neighbors. Each of us who call ourselves an American. Give our nation a piece of this spirit. Send America your angel of light to heal, care, and protect during our hour of reckoning. May the peace and the forgiveness of your truth, our beloved one, sustain us, transform us, and teach us how to love. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.